Today we just complete how to graph, first making distribution table, right, for the quantitative data, okay, and then this was our mission to make frequency distribution, and then we graph the table. Last time we concerned about the qualitative data, and we know how to make the category here, and then counting how many one we have. This is what we call it the frequency. If we have the percentage, we call it the relative frequency, right? How to make the percentage? Just take this frequency divided by the total number of the frequency, give you the total number. Be careful. When you sum the frequency or you get the total frequency, you should have the total number of data. And when you're adding the total percentage, you should have 100%, because the total number corresponding to 100% of your data. Clear? Okay, if you have a long one, data like this one, it is really difficult to graph it as a bar chart or pie chart. So it is better to make it as a group. How to group this data? You, as we said, you know the minimum value and the maximum value, and you divided the maximum value minus the minimum value, and you divide it up to the number of groups you would like. He's asking you to divide it by 7 because he said 7 classes or 7 groups. Okay, so as we said, the highest value is 134, the lowest value is 100. If we subtract the highest minus the lowest, give me the range of my data. If I divided the range of my data to the number of classes I would like to divide my data to, I will get this number. It's not acceptable to have the width of the class or group with decimal. So you have to take the next integer. So the next integer for this is 5. Okay, so you start from the minimum value and you go 5 steps, and be very careful. The first class is the most important class, because once you have done it, you can deduce the rest of this. So first of all, you get the minimum value, okay, 2104, because I have 5 steps. Be careful, 100 is one of your steps. So 100, 101, 2, 3, 4. So I finish the 5 steps. It is better to use something called class boundaries. If you remember in the first chapter, we know how to find the boundary. Half before this one and half after this one. So we know there is a difference between class limits and class boundaries. Okay, class limits start from the minimum value, adding the length or the width of the class. So, and be careful, you have to count the minimum value as one of your steps. Okay, so I get the first class limits. It is better to use the class boundaries. How to find the class boundary? As we know in chapter 1, we just subtract half from this one and adding half to this one. Subtracting half from the lower bound, adding half to the upper bound, so we get the first class boundary. Once you finish the first class, it is easy to add the width of the class to the initial value or the lowest value of the interval. So I add 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I get this, the lower bound for my interval. How many interval I have? How many classes I have? 7 classes. So if I finish the first one correctly, it is easy to get the rest of the class limits and the class boundaries easy by adding to the lower bound of the class, the width of my class, I get the lower bound of each class. If I add the width of the upper bound of my first class, I get the upper bound for the rest of my classes. The same as for the class boundary. If I add the width, which is 5, to the lower bound, I get the lower bound for my 7 classes. If I add the width of my classes to the upper bound of my first boundary class, I get the upper bound of my class boundaries. Okay, the frequency will not be different between the class limits and the class boundaries. But what is the point of using class boundaries? If my values is 100, it will be very critical to just imagine I have 100 here, because I have a in between my 100 and 104. So it is better to get the class boundary to include the minimum value and the maximum value, right? As well as the boundary values. Instead of just being suspicious about the 105, it will lies in the this class or this class. So you have to get of your suspicion by using the class boundary. Is it clear? Once you divided your data into class limits, this one, it is not becoming quantitative data anymore. It's becoming like category, like ordinal, data, because this is ordinal data, right? So you cannot add and subtract or mathematical operation over this class limits. Okay, this is the main point. So yes, I change it into ordinal data. So I can use a bar chart and pie chart, variation. Okay. If you have a data like this one, right, and you would like to have the distribution table for this one, as well as graphing the distribution table, it is better to have the minimum value and the maximum value. But here, if you look at this one, there is not too much difference between the data. So it is better to have it one by one. So yes, no problem to have class width equal to 1 if your data are very close to each other, right? So it's not illegal to have the width of the class is 1. Okay, so if your class width is 1, you go for the class boundary. So you take half before this, the number before this one, and you're adding half. So half before this one will be 11.5, half after this one will be 12.5. And you count how many number lying in this one class boundary, okay? And you get the frequency. And go ahead for the rest of this one, right? The dot plot in this case will help you too much, because you will see, and the stem and leaves also will help you too much for this one. Because if you go for the stem and leaves, you will have the 12 repeated here 6 times, right? And the 13 repeated only once. So if the class width is 1, the stem and leaves and dot plot will help you too much to write the distribution table, right? Now, if you would like to have, later on we will have exercise and we'll do it. And we now finish everything regarding the quantitative data. There are some other graphs. They call it time series. And this time series, when you have the date as one of your column of your distribution table. Okay. Next, we will go for the quantitative data and how to graph the distribution table for the quantitative data. First of all, we will have example for quantitative data, give you the daily wages for 100 worker, right? So how to create distribution frequency table. You have a formula give you the maximum number of classes. Okay, you can divide it this 100 into. This formula is saying this number of classes, the maximum number of classes, they call it K, right? Equal to this formula, 1 plus 3.223 multiplied by the logarithm of the number of data, right? Let's count it. To count anything in Excel, you press equal, right? And you write the formula. What is the formula? 1 plus 3.223 multiplied, shift and 8 to give you the multiplication, which is a sum. Then you have to remember this is logarithm for the natural number, len, not log. Open bracket, because it is a function, so you have to open bracket. He told me 100, so I'm just writing that. This is the number of data, 100. Press enter. It gives you, this is the maximum number of classes you can divide it, your 100 data into. If you have a decimal, it is not accepted to have a decimal, right? So it is better to make it approximate this one to the next integer, which it will be 60. So if I'm asking you MCQ question and saying, or true and false question, okay, about the maximum number of classes for 100 data, right? So the maximum number of classes is 16. If I give you multiple choice question and give you numbers, all the number greater than 16 and only one less than 16, so which one you are going to choose? For sure you choose what? The
less than 16.
Yes, less than 16. Okay. Okay. So this is the main point of knowing this formula, right? Next, are you going
Understand the question.
to use the maximum number? Are you going to use the maximum number of classes? Of course not. Okay. So if you choose, let us choose K equal to the number of classes. K equal to which one would like to know? 6 classes. Okay. So this is the maximum number, and this is the one we are going to choose, right? If you can choose 8, it's okay. Choose whatever you like, but you cannot choose more than 16, okay? Once you know the number of classes, this is the number of classes, okay? This is the number of classes, okay? I have to know the minimum value and the maximum value just to have the width of this one. So the minimum value equal to what? How to know the minimum value? As I said, I can sort this one. How to sort this one? You just shade them, okay? And right click, go for sort, and sort it as you like from the smallest to the largest, or from the largest. Go for the smallest. Okay, so he already sorted them from the smallest. So the minimum value will be what? Will be 18. Okay, the maximum value will be what?
You're right, 99.
What?
99, I think.
Yes,
99.
I have to check. I go for the last one, which is a 99. Yes. Take your time because all of this one will affect the
Doctor,
right?
you're right, 19. It's 18, I think.
Oh, sorry, 18. Thank you, Mohammed. So this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value, right? So now I know I have 6 classes. I would like to have the width of the class. class width, class width. How to get the class width? As you said, Zaid, I have to press equal, open bracket. Why I open bracket? Because I'm going to subtract 18 from 99. So you just click on the cell having 18, press minus, click on the one having 18. Okay. Close this one, divided by what? The number of classes. I have to escape this one. The number of classes I choose is 6, right? So if I go here again, how to get the width? Press equal. What is the formula for the width? Open bracket, 99 minus 18, close the bracket. The result of this subtraction will be multiplied, shift and 8, divided, okay, by the number of classes. So I have the width 13.5, right? It is not accepted to have decimal in your class width. So you get this one and make it to the next digit. So you make it 14, right? So I know the class width now is 14.
Doctor,
Now,
again, can you just say the class width?
okay, the class width. What is the formula for the class width? You press equal. You have to open bracket because you are going to subtract the 99. So press 99 minus, press the minimum value, close it. So now you give you the 99 minus 18. Divide this one, which I call it the range. Divide the range by the number of classes. I choose 6 and press enter. You will get this value. It's not accepted to have class width equal to with the decimal places. So you get the next enter, right? Now
Yeah.
I'm ready for my distribution table. Let's go now to do the frequency table, right? What's the frequency table? I just have space. I got the class limits. Okay. If I go for class boundary, we know the difference between them. Okay. So what is the class limit? The class limit starts from the minimum value. What is the minimum value? 18, right? 2, I go, no. The first one, I have 6 class, right? So the first one, the class width is 14, right? So I will move from 18 to 14 steps, and 18 is included, right? So I'll reach 31, right? So this is my first class limit, okay? Okay, this is my first class. So what is the boundary of this class? 17.5. I subtract half from the lower bound.
31.5.
Adding half. Sorry?
31.5.
Yes, excellent. 31.5. Okay. Once you finish the first class limit and class boundary, you have done 80% of your work, right? So please be very careful with the first one. Okay. I'm just making this one slightly bigger. Okay. And get this one in the middle. Okay. Now, no need to add or something. You're just adding the class width to the initial or the lower bound and add it to the upper bound. So if I add 14 to 18, so I have 32, right? If I add 14 to 31, I have 45. Clear? The next one, if I add 14 to 32, I have 46. If I add 14 to 31, I have what? 14 to 45, sorry.
61.
14 to 45.
Sorry,
59. 59, right? Next, if I add 14 to 46, I have 60. If I add 14 to 59, I have 73. Now, how many class I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 left, right? Next, I add 14 to 60, so I have 74. If I add 14 to 73, I have 87. The last one, if I add 14 to 74, I have 88, 2, I have 101, right? Clear?
No, I think 102.
102. How it comes 102? If you have odd number plus even number, you should have odd number without thinking. Okay. Now, what is the boundary for this one? 31.5. This is the lower bound. 45.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, 45.5 to
59.5.
59.5. Excellent. Next,
59.5
to
60 or 50.
59.
دكتور 59.5 صح؟
which one? Yes.
دكتور 59
right.
تحت دكتور.
Yes, this is wrong. 59.5. Excellent, because I subtract half, not adding half. Thank you very much.
minus 73.5.
Not minus 2. This is not minus. You have to be very careful.
What
This
is
is
that?
not minus. This is from 2. So this is not minus. This is 2. 73.5. Okay.
دكتور ما فهمت شو يعني 2.
From 2. من
okay.
إلى. This is not minus.
Okay.
73.5 to 87.5. Okay. The last one.
87.5
87.5 to
101.5.
101.5. Excellent. I have done the class boundary. Now the big job, how to do the frequencies, right? Okay. Let's go for the frequencies. Now I have to write here frequencies. How to count how many numbers here? So it is better to have border for the cells, right? Just to make it nice and cool. So I'm just shading this one. Click the right click, format cells, go for boundary, choose the thick line, go for out border and inside border. So now I have a nice shape for this one. How to count how many numbers between 18 to 31? So this is 18 in line 3, okay, and 31. Don't take the first 31, take the last 31. So 18. So you end up in row 18 and you start in row 3. So if you subtract 18 minus 2, it gives you 16. So you have 16 numbers between this two numbers, 18 to 31. If you have a suspicious, you can count it by hand. Okay. So just to make sure you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, it's already 16. So there is no point of counting one by one. You just know what is the row number of this one, the last one, and go for the first one. Go before the first one, right? This is the point of having boundaries as well. So you're subtracting 2 from the 18, so you get the same number 16. So no need to count it one by one. Let's go for 32 to 45. 32, where is the 32? Here. So the first row, don't take this
Doctor,
one.
we will take the second 32?
No, the first one.
Okay.
So take the row before this one. Remember, the row is what? 18, right? 18. 18. Take the one before. Okay?
Okay.
And the last value is 45. Let's go for 45. Take the last 45. The last 45 in row 61.
61.
So you
Yeah.
subtract 61 minus
18.
18.
18. So how many ones now?
43.
43. Excellent. 43. Let's go for the next one. 46 to 59. I'll go for the first 46. The first 46 in row number what? In row number
62.
So I will take 61, right?
61.
And the end of this one is what? The end of this class is what?
95.
59, not 90. 59,
Ah.
right? So where is the last 59? This is the last 59. So you subtract 95 minus what?
46.
61.
I'm not.
اطلع 34.
Yes, 34. Yes. You don't subtract the value, yeah, Khalid. You subtract the rows here. So you have
Doctor,
43, right?
I
34.
don't understand this one.
34. Again. Okay. How to find how many numbers between 46 and 59, right? So what is your first 46? Your first 46 in row number what? Number 62, right? So
Yeah.
right.
دكتور في حد بيزعق في المايك وصوت مش عارف طالع كده.
You start in 61, okay? And your class boundary end up at 59. So where is the last 59? 59 here, the last 59, 95, right?
Yes.
95. So you subtract 95 minus 61, right?
Okay.
Because your first value in 46 and 62. So you take the row before. So 95 minus 61 give you what? 34, right?
Yes.
So you write 34. Can you do for me, please, the class from 60 to 73? So I'll go for 60 to 73. So I'm just writing 60, start here. So I take the one before. So I have
95.
Okay, excellent. And 74, I don't have 74, but I have before this one. So I have 101, right?
Yes.
So 101 minus 95 give you 6. If you count this one, you will find 6, right? So I have 6 number in this class. Okay?
Yeah.
How many number between 74 to 87? I will look for 74. I don't have 74 and I don't have 87, right? So what I'm going to write here?
0.
Excellent. 0, yes. From 88 to 108, I have only one number, which is 99. So the frequency here is what?
Also 0, doctor?
No, 1. You have one number here.
Okay.
You have one number here. So I'm just having 1. Now I am ready with my distribution table, but I just make this one slightly bigger. Okay.
The frequency.
And put in the middle, right? If you would like to graph the histogram, it will be very similar to the bar chart, right? And the difference, as you said, there is no gaps between them. How you can delete the gap? This is our mission here. So I insert, I go for toolbar, I finish. How I can delete the gaps here? I'm just double clicking here. I will have this one, right? I will just, this is the gap width, right? So
Yeah.
I make the gap width equal to what? 0. Now I change the bar chart into histogram. Again, I would like to have the histogram with no frequency here, right? So I will choose this one and make the gap 0, right? Easy?
Easy.
Okay, resume. تعال نشوف. Let's go for the polygon. There is no difference between the polygon and the bar chart unless you just connecting the midpoint of each bar, right? So you will choose the line. Okay, so I'll choose the line. Once you choose the line, again, I would like to have the numbers here. Okay, so I'll choose the one, the faithful. Which one having, yes. Would you like this one or that one or that one? It's up to you, right? Okay, you like this one? You have more, by the way. You have more here. Okay, so choose the one you prefer. For me, I prefer this one, right? Accept this one? Okay. So now I know this is a polygon, right? Look at this one. This is in the middle of the bar, right? This is the middle of the bar. Okay. I will stop recording until you just let me know how we can do both of them at the same time. The bar chart and the polygon in the same window. How to find the cumulative frequency? I'm just going to delete it and just show it now again. The first one, 16. The next one will be equal to this frequency plus the previous value from the cumulative, right? Press enter. No need to do the rest. You just drag this one. When you drag this one, you end up with the 100. Yes, the total number of data is 100. So I'm right now. Okay. Now I would like to graph the class boundaries with the cumulative frequency. Okay. To have the ascending bar chart, histogram, or the ascending polygon. So I shade this one. How to skip this one to shade this one? I'm just hold the control key and I'm shading this one by the mouse, right? Now I skip this one. Again, go for insert. If I would like to have the histogram, cumulative histogram, I would have this one. This is not histogram. So this is cumulative histogram. Once you write histogram, you have to delete what? Delete the gap. How to delete the gap? Double click in the bars. Okay. And go for this one and make the gap equal to 0. Choose this one. Okay. Okay. So what is it? Okay. Make again the gap 0. Okay. Now I have the cumulative, if you remember this one. I'll go for this one. Once you move from shape to the other, your gap is becoming back again. So it is easy to make it 0 from this one, right? So remember, you go for this one, go for the last option and make the gap equal to 0. Okay. Now I have the cumulative histogram. How I have the cumulative polygon? I will, instead of having this one, I shade this one. How to skip this one and go for the other one? Just hold the control key and shade this one. Go for insert. Instead of the bar, I go for the line. Okay. So I get this one. This is my ascending cumulative polygon. Okay. This is the ascending one. Ascend. Okay. You can choose whatever. You can choose this one. You can choose this one. It's as you like. Okay. You have extra here also. You can choose between them. That's up to you. You can choose the best for you. Okay. Now it is very important here to know what is the point of having ascending or descending cumulative frequency polygon. Now you can know the percentage or the frequency, how many ones between so and so, right? And if you have the number of people here, you can know the wages for them here, right? So this is the main point of having ascending cumulative polygon, right? Let's watch this guy and see what's going on.
Hello and welcome to this video tutorial from ComputerGaga.com. This tutorial will look at creating a frequency table in Excel. So I've got a list of exam grades
علي صوتك.
الصوت مش واضح خالص.
for 34 pupils, I believe. 34 pupils we have. So down to row 37. And on the right, I would like to create a frequency table. Hello and welcome to this video tutorial from ComputerGaga.com. In this tutorial, we will look at creating a frequency table in Excel. So I've got a list of exam grades, kind of scores on the left-hand side for 34 pupils, I believe. 34 pupils we have. So down to row 37. And on the right, I would like to create a frequency table. I want to break down each of them scores and group them in these classes. So I want to know how many scores were between the range of 31 to 40, how many between 41 to 50, and so on. Now to do this, I'm going to use a function called COUNTIFs. So I want to count how many times they occur, any values that meet more than one condition. And that's what the COUNTIFs will do for us. So going from cell F4, first one in the table there, I'm going to write equals COUNTIF S, COUNTIFs. Counts the number of cells in a range that meet a given set of conditions. Opening bracket, criteria range 1. What is your first criteria range? That is our only criteria range, and it is C4 down to C37. C4 to C37. So I can see that written in the formula bar above as well as there. And I'm going to press F4 to fix that range. Because when I copy this formula to the other cells within this table, I do not want that reference to move. Stay in row 4 and row 37. Comma, criteria 1, what is your first criteria? Now in speech marks, or these double inverted commas, we always use them when we use a logical expression within COUNTIF or COUNTIFs function. I'm going to ask if it's greater than or equals to the number 31. So that is the lowest value within that interval, that class. Comma, criteria range 2 will be the same. C4 to C37, which I'll use dollar signs to fix or make absolute. And this time I'm asking if it is less than or equal to 40. So is it less than or equal to 40 scores? Closing bracket on the end and enter. And apparently there are 5 scores within the range of 31 to 40. Now with that done and our references fixed, we should be able to copy that formula to the other cells so that references remain looking in the right place, but change the range that it's looking within. So that will take a few seconds to get going, but once that is in, jobs are good, and we have ourselves a frequency table. All the classes distributed distributed amongst this range. Seems I wish I had a little macros to do this a bit quicker than what I've got here. What I'm hoping to identify is the range 51 to 60 is our modal class. It is the most frequent class within here. Well, I certainly think so. We're about to see our last one, which only comes up with 5. So yes, number 9, 51 to 60 is the modal class. That is the greatest frequency is within there. But we can see the distribution with their different classes now. We have ourselves a frequency table in Excel.
شباب ايه رايكم في دي؟
دكتور انا ما فهمت عليه وايد.
دكتور ما فهمناش.
See you tomorrow 2 o'clock.
شكرا.